Ain't no screen on.
Did you get Quasi?
Ain't no screen on.
Talk, Lyve, just talk.
Oh, it's Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. But it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and I'm here this Saturday today doing the same thing we've been trying to do ever since we started the show. Make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. And I'm telling you, it's getting deep. But I'm back here with my sidekick and my partner in crime, Tony. How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
You know, we had a guest that canceled out because they down the street giving out turkeys, man.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
well, you know, it's Thanksgiving. We coming up on the holiday, but this giving us a chance to get back to our project because we got some stuff that's really happening. And I've been trying to work a campaign called Get It Done, fundraising campaign for the Sons of Atlanta. So
Okay.
that's what I've been doing for the last few days, just coming up with, we've been going out to all these events, connecting with all these people in the community. And now we got to start moving toward getting a survey of the land that we have in Piedmont Park so they can break grounds.
Okay.
That's something to be excited about because we look like we're going to be on target for Memorial Day 2023 that's not only going to be historical, but it will be the end of the first phase of our project. So, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited about where we're at with the project. And I'm excited about some of the responses that we are getting from all these contacts that we've made. Monday, if you don't have anything to do, we got to go down to the Church of the Redeemer and pick up a check. So I'm excited, because people in the community that we have been connecting with is responding to the outreach now. I figured it out. Tony, if we could get 12, no, we can't afford it. If we could get 11,000 veterans, if we could just get 11,000 veterans to buy a $300 brick, the program would be fully funded.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's a hard task when you look at the fact that we are representing over 40,000 veterans in Fulton County, just in our county alone. Not to think about Metro Atlanta, which is a 18 county-wide market that we're in, and over 700,000 veterans in the state of Georgia. And over 200,000 of those right here in Metro Atlanta. So we're gonna reach out to every veteran, every community, every mayor in the cluster that we're calling the Sons of Atlanta, which is in Fulton County right now. And hopefully what we're doing in Fulton County will be duplicated throughout the rest of Georgia and the rest of the United States of America. Because, one of the things that all of us that's ex-military know, that some of us that went into the military didn't come back home alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't come back home alive. And I think that if we can't afford to let our communities forget those people because they still have families in the community. They went to high schools, and the high school histories of what we're doing is not highlighted by the reality that they died fighting for this country, fighting for the democracy that we are really experiencing now. I was hoping that by the day of all this election stuff would be over, and the toxic politics that we could start talking about as veterans, because what we have to do is get people past all the toxic politics and these efforts to undermine our democracy and get it back on track with people. And the elections turned out pretty good.
Yep.
Considering that somebody had fed us the idea that there was going to be a red wave, whatever they call it. In other words, the Republican was supposed to take over everything. Well, they did take over the House, and so what we're finna see now is a clown show for the next 2 years. But in the process, we got to ask veterans, and ask ourselves, and I'm talking about us, we got to ask ourselves, do veterans' votes matter?
Yep.
Do our vote matter? See, we got, and right now we're in the middle of a runoff election where we got 2 African Americans running for the same office. We get a chance to look at all of their ads, and we know a little bit about their background because they're from our hometown.
Right.
You know, they're in our hometown, they're in our home state. So we get to see what party politics is all about. You know, we get to see, we're gonna see more about party politics in the next month than we saw since October, when the general elections politics started.
Yep.
We cannot be deceived and misled about the need for veterans to vote. You know, to vote. And not vote because you're a Democrat or a Republican. Vote because you are an American.
Yes.
And you want the government that you serve for, the type government that you serve for, to be the kind of government that you got to live upon. Because an autocratic spirit has engulfed part of this country. Now, I'm baffled, Tony. Maybe you can make me understand. I don't understand it, but can you just help me, brother?
One of the things that from the point that I see it from, that is a major factor in it, is money. By being in control, and that's what it's all about, being controlled of the government, there is a source of funding for the country that they are in control of.
And you know what? I'm so glad you said that, because we got to go back to the American Revolution. You know, the spirit that started the American Revolution was what you're talking about now: taxation without representation, and that's what we are getting right now, because the parties, the two-party system is malfunctioning to the point that the governments are malfunctioning. We have been infiltrated by toxic politics from both parties.
Exactly. Yeah.
And neither one of them is willing to back up and say, you know, we're gonna follow the Constitution at all costs. At all costs. We got the veterans and our families and our loved ones, those that have paid the ultimate price for this democracy, cannot forget they pledged allegiance to the flag. You know, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's truly possible, but the toxic politics and the money in the politics. It used to be a time in this country where you could go out and get enough signatures, you could run for office. They spent $500 million on the general elections in this country just now.
Yep.
Just now, with people homeless all over the United States of America. That's what is happening to our democracy. We have gotten people into democracy that can walk right past the needy. Just walk right past them in their way to the office.
In their Brooks Brothers suits.
In their Brooks Brothers suits.
Yep.
What happened to the pledges allegiance to the flag? We have gotten a government that get up and say, you know, they got to care for those who have carried the burden of service in the U.S. military. I am confronted, and we are confronted, Tony, with what we do every day with sisters and brothers that have served in the U.S. military that are being denied the basic benefits that they have earned because of politics
Right.
and money.
Yes.
It's something that veterans gonna have to vote like they ain't never voted before. But they got to get away from being Democrats or Republicans right now, because the party politics have really caused a malfunctioning government on every level, from the city, the county, the state, and the federal government, and the school system.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. We have a major challenge in front of us as veterans.
As veterans.
And we've got to speak up. We have a voice. We have a strong voice because we vote. We vote in incredible numbers. And so all we have to do is focus our point to where it needs to go to get the response. Because if we're scattered, they're not concerned about it.
And Tony, I'm so glad you said, because see, listen, man. They run around talking about the PAC Act, right? They run around, the PAC Act is the greatest thing it is. It is the greatest thing they ever did, but they didn't go far enough in doing the right thing for all veterans. I know veterans that I see every day, that's in my community, that's in our organization, that have served this U.S. military in places where Agent Orange was stole, used, tested, and they act like they ain't dying and getting sick.
Yep.
It's heartbreaking. Yep. And then you look at the DICs, the surviving spouses.
Yep.
It's criminal the way they treat them. Because if the death certificate don't have a cause of death that their service connected for, they deny them and don't say, they don't look in the record and say, well, he had some conditions that should have been.
Go back into the history. All the information is there in his records. It is sometimes an unfortunate thing that their actual cause of death was something else. But they have a record showing that they were dealing with a health condition that was caused by the military.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm so proud of you and our organization, because today I had a surviving spouse that came to me that we filed a claim for, and it was for Elijah Ford, my best friend, who died in June. Well, his surviving spouse was recognized, and she got her benefits this week.
So.
I mean, this is just one out of 100. Though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yes.
I'm taking joy because she said I don't know how I would have made it, because I lost my husband, my major income with him, and I got bills I can't pay.
Yep.
I got bills I can't pay. So this impacted her quality of life, had her mental stuff going, but she was so happy when she got the thing, and then she didn't tell me she done got the checks in the mail. She didn't tell me all that. She let me read the stuff, and then I said, they gave it to you. Where you got? Did you go to the bank? She said, yeah. I said, what, you smiling at the bank? She said, yeah. But we can't stop though.
No. And that's just one case.
Just one case. And I'm telling you, I got 6 DICs on the desk right now, and some of them I'm reading. I don't even want to call the client, because it's a work that some of them ain't got the mental tenacity to keep doing. They done been slapped down and and traumatized, because they already done lost their spouse. Now they got to relive this traumatization, trying to get the benefits that their loved ones had. That should have
automatically, it should have never stopped.
Should have just kept going.
Yeah, right.
But some kind of way, we got to get it to our sisters and brothers that served in the U.S. military. We got to make our vote count.
Yeah.
We got to make it count. Just because we go to the poll in the high 90s, it ain't counting for nothing, because we ain't focused.
Right.
We're either going up there voting for the Democrats or voting for the Republicans. Looking at, is this person that I'm voting for going to really follow the Constitution and represent me as a citizen, as one of their constituency? And I don't hear nobody in the community saying that's happening right now.
The silence is deafening.
It's deafening.
Yes.
And some kind of way, I'm hoping what we doing every day, every week with this show, that gonna get through to us.
Yeah.
Because we are the catalyst for saving this democracy. Right now, I'm a great granddaddy, but I got a little darling. She's spoiled though. A great grandbaby that I asked her when after the Texas shooting, she said, well, "Papa, I'm scared to go to school."
Yeah.
Because we have allowed, we have elected. I ain't saying allowed. We elected.
Yes.
Either by omission or commission, we have elected politicians that care more about the NRA than they do about safety in our community.
Exactly. Yeah.
And nobody wants to talk about this. The preachers but veterans got to, because they are slapping us in the face harder than they doing anybody with our service, with our commitment. What we have given to this country, we can't get it back.
Right.
And we can't afford to just sit up and say, well, they do what they want to. No, they do what we let them do.
Right. Yeah.
We got to reach a point where we got to say, hey, wait a minute, like Dr. Carver used to do. Dr. Carver used to go out and say, oh, Lord, he just raised his hand. He going to talk and he going to be heard, because he going to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
And and Reverend Love.
Yes.
You know, we had soldiers that was guiding us and teaching us about this democracy, this service that we rendered.
Yeah.
That we rendered. You know, every veteran, and you know, and it breaks my heart. I'm on Cleveland Avenue. I live over here. You got a population of veterans over here that's living in the hotels, and they can't afford to live in the hotels because they got a pension. It ain't enough to pay a rent and buy food. They standing on the corner asking for help.
Yeah.
You know, it breaks my heart because I'm a veteran. I can't do nothing about it because my income is ate up by inflation too.
Yep.
And the government don't cause inflation. It's the businesses in our community that's causing this inflation.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you how you can recognize it. Leave Cleveland Avenue and go on Jonesboro Road. You can go straight up Cleveland Avenue, Jonesboro Road. And on Cleveland Avenue, the gas in most stations are $3.19 or higher. Over on Jonesboro Road, the gas is $2.97, and some places lower.
Yep.
Same station, same
company.
Same companies.
Yep.
We need to wake up. These folks got us by the proverbial brains. They done, you know what, they think we brain dead. Or they trying to make us brain dead by telling us all this stupidity while they stand up there in our governments and don't do nothing but argue and bicker with each other about character. And all that character, as far as I'm concerned, is flawed because they none of them keeping their oath of office.
Absolutely. Yep.
Not the way I seen young men and women do in uniform.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
These folks follow orders. Listen, I done painted the pole black at night. You know, because they was teaching, they was seeing how much our discipline I could endure by telling me ridiculous stuff to do.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I demonstrated something that wasn't militarily fit. I see a lot of people serving in government that ain't government fit.
Exactly.
They ain't fit to serve in our government because they are not serving the government that we put them in. We're caught up in a situation where you got business running amok with money. During the pandemic, when everybody else was suffering, these big companies made crazy profits, but they don't want to pay their workers.
Right. Greed. Once again, greed rears its ugly head.
Some way, veterans got to ask themselves, do my vote matters? And not talking about somebody else, I'm talking about us.
Right.
We got to make it matter. Ain't nobody else gonna make it matter because they done showed us time and time again. If that PAC Act was truly everything it should be, vote Gordon, a number of Air Force bases. Should have been included in the act. But what happened to those veterans that served in these places? They're not getting their benefits, the benefits that they deserve. And we are supposed to just sit back and say, well, what can we do?
Yeah.
We can vote.
Yes.
For somebody that's going to represent us. And I don't see it in the parties right now because their focus is some of them is giving us cosmetic.
Exactly. So that they can maintain their power.
Yeah, just giving us some cosmetic reactions to what's going on.
Yep.
Instead of looking at this, I seen one politician standing on his yacht saying $15 an hour was too much.
Yes.
If you count that up, that's about $33,000 a year. That's poverty in this economy.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's too much. But they reckon in, listen, each one of they get over $150,000 base pay.
Right.
Not to think about the stipends they get for home office and staffs and all this kind of other stuff, and you call them and you can't get them.
Right.
Or they tell you complain to them about an agency, they tell you to go see another agency. They don't investigate the agency that you complained about.
Yep.
Some kind of way. We got to make our votes matter, but let's get to this memorial. Because see, this memorial is something that we've been working on since 2015. We got it to a point that nobody could see it coming to.
Yeah. Yep.
We went from a vision, and you always said it was divinely inspired. And I see it. We went from a vision to a renderance to a design.
Yes.
That's been approved by Piedmont Park Conservatory, the City of Atlanta, and now the National Park Service. All we got to do is fund it. And we can fund it because veterans, this is about us. This is about showing these people that we can come together and do something together that elevates our value.
Yes.
That elevates our value in the community. People got to remember, everybody that went into service didn't return whole either.
Exactly.
They returned, but they didn't return whole. The VA, our VA, in the Atlanta VA, where I used to work, is the worst VA in the country. And we've been saying this for years. But there have been no major government action towards straightening it up from Congress. The Congress that we got.
Yeah.
You know, they keep hearing, they hear about a guy go out there and commit suicide. They hear about a guy dying and ants all over him. They hear about a guy dying when he was misdiagnosed. But we are not getting it. Veterans are not getting it. We are the soldiers of the community. We need to straighten this up. People will follow us before they follow these politicians. And what we got too, we got somebody leading the country that had a foot spur when he got a draft notice. He had something wrong with him. But now he can't figure out what's wrong with him. But we know what's wrong with him. He didn't want to serve in this country.
That's it.
He wanted dictatorship, and he wanted to be the dictator. And what bothers me more than that, but I thank him for one thing, he have exposed this element.
Yes.
He has exposed this element so we can see it now. Now, if we gonna see it and let them tell us that attack on the Capitol was a political discourse where people died, then I don't know what my service meant. My service didn't mean nothing. I ain't getting nothing for my service because these criminals attacked the Capitol and they feel, well, they say they're gonna pardon them.
Yeah, exactly. He said the inspiration, the person who inspired this insurrection has stated that if he becomes president again, those people will be pardoned.
And now and on top of that, he got people talking about not funding Ukraine's struggle.
Yeah.
This is un-American. We already got people that done died for this stuff.
Exactly.
And here we got politicians to stand up and say, we ain't spending no money on that. We got to have borders on the wall.
Yeah.
That's not freedom.
Yeah.
That's not freedom. We done got caught up in the toxic politics, and we feel like we can't do nothing. Yes, we can. We can vote these people out of our governments and put some people in the government that know how to keep their oath.
Yes.
Because if I'd have violated my oath, I would have got a bad discharge.
Exactly. You wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No.
Yes.
So we got to stop acting like we don't know no better as veterans.
Yep.
We're the protectors of our community. We're the warriors. We're the people that stood up in the U.S. military and made sacrifices that only 1% of the population has ever had to do.
Yep.
And we're going to act like that ain't something special. We have allowed them to down. We didn't have some of them people criticizing military right now. Talking down the military. They want to tear down this democracy. We need to make sure that they know that ain't happening.
Yeah.
You know, that ain't gonna go with us. And the only way we're gonna do it is stop voting Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be totally independent voters and get people to run for office that ain't got this toxic politics with them. That ain't got no history of it. I'm even talking about these clowns that'll lie to you and then. Like we got one politician running for office now. He the savior of Georgia, but he wasn't even living in Georgia before. He left Georgia.
Yes.
He done left Georgia, and all of a sudden he come back to save Georgia.
Yeah.
He come back to give the people that are corrupt the powers that they want to keep corruption going. Because if they get the power,
exactly, and that's what
they're gonna do worse than they did before.
Yeah. Yes.
This is Veterans Talk. Now I'm going at veterans. We need you to help us with this memorial. This memorial gonna be a symbol in the most visited, the most popular park in Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. This memorial is an open air memorial. You can go there 24/7. You know, so it's not remote and big out of the way of the people. We want people to be able to walk through this memorial anytime they feel like it and feel the spirit of real patriots.
Yep.
See what sacrifices been made for this democracy. That way I'm hoping that it will make them care more about the democracy and stop being wooed by political ads and conversations that sounds, you know, make you feel good rhetoric, but it's destructive. It's destructive. And we need this memorial because see, they done got military service so remote from value in our community till you got anybody that's even somebody that don't thank you for your service, cause well, you don't even know what service you thanking me for. You just talking. You know, you need to go to the cemeteries, bro.
Yeah.
You need to see what this is doing to our future because our children are an endangered species.
Yes.
Through gun violence. Tony, me and you both grew up in this area. Me and Tony, County too. Listen, man. All over Fulton County, the cities have been one with Atlanta. We had the freedom to go from one city all over the city. We didn't have no killings like the day we got there.
Yes.
No killings because gun violence was not a part of our time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the NRA become a powerful element in the community, and everybody got a gun. Mental patients got guns.
Yeah.
You know, people that got guns that know they ain't got no business with a gun because the laws have been promiscuous.
Yes.
Promiscuous. They letting them have all these things that we know to be a danger to the community. We got a healthcare system where if you ain't got no money, you're gonna have bad health.
Yeah.
We need to get away from that. We got schools in the community that they kids go to school to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going to school to learn. They're going to school to fight because they coming out of a black community, going into a school that is not equipped to handle them.
Mm-hmm.
And we just giving our votes away. So this memorial is going to be a reminder for people in this area, all 9 of these cities, so that they will know what this freedom is. And now we because of the media, television, and the internet, we can see all over the world from our living.
Right. Yes.
And we can see governments that don't have any freedom for their people whatsoever. China.
Mm-hmm.
And that outside of the major cities in China, they don't even have running water.
Mm-hmm.
Not to think about electricity. Same thing in Russia.
Yeah.
You know, and the poor people in this country live better than some of the people that got stuff in these other countries because of their laws don't permit them to come out of their space. You know, if you say something against a government official, you disappear. Mm-hmm. You don't go to court and sue them. You know, you disappear. They get rid of you, and nobody got any recourse. Mm-hmm. What are we doing? Let me let you talk.
You made several points that you know. I guess we'll start with the memorial. We'll start with the memorial as a starting point for drawing our community together. And recognizing the fact that these 240 something guys that paid the ultimate price needs to be remembered. Needs to be remembered and recognized. And this is one of the things, your brainchild of doing this. And we can all see it coming into fruition, you know, but it is still a process.
It's a process.
For this to happen, we're going to need donations. We need donations. And the wonderful thing about the donations is that it's just not giving money. You're getting something in return. You're getting a permanent recognition of whoever you're giving the money for to be a permanent part of this memorial.
Yes.
You know, it's going to be wonderful. And I'll use me as an example. It's going to be wonderful to have my name in Piedmont Park from now on.
From now on.
You know,
every time the family come town, they can go down there and see what
go down there. Or even people say, you know, classmates, you know, they're down there, and they go like, didn't he go to Harper High School?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, is that the same? Yep. You know.
And what they excite me about it is, you know, I'm a Booker T. Washington guy.
Yeah.
Our memorial is about 100 feet from the Booker T. Washington Memorial in Piedmont Park.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're bringing history to common people. Never before in our community have any local Joe that just served in the military and died in war have been lifted up.
Yeah, exactly. By their hometown. By their hometown.
So this is going to give value to military service from all generations, past, present, and future.
Yeah.
So I'm counting on veterans to step up now.
Yeah.
Let's step up and show these people that, okay, the city of Atlanta won because of what you did. You thought you stopped something. You cannot stop democracy. You cannot stop freedom.
He can't stop the will of the people.
Can't stop the will of the people.
He can't stop and the people want this memorial.
They want this memorial. Yeah. Everywhere we've been, Tony, everybody that heard about it, you know, and I'm hoping that once they see in other counties, they see what we've done in Fulton County, they will duplicate it, do it better.
Yes.
You know, make the conversation louder.
Yes.
Because the conversation needs to be louder, because if we look at what we got in this country right now and what they are pushing on us, 2% of the population owns 90% of the world.
Yep.
And we can't do nothing about it because of the construction of the government. They
That's
done
it.
bought
Yes.
our elected officials.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm wrong, somebody need to slap me in the mouth.
And you know, it's so visible right here in our face. This Elon Musk, you know, he could care less about this country. He is only concerned about himself and his monies. And his monies. You know,
and the power that is given him over people.
Over people. He does whatever he wants. And our former president bought into that idea of having that kind of power over anything that he wants. And therein is the challenge that we had when he lost the election. He could not stand the idea of losing an election because he saw himself losing the power that he thought he had and was going to gain.
And this democracy won't give him the power that he wants, so he want to change the democracy to be a autocratic government that he's leading or somebody like him. Because I'm saying this, he just happened to be the most vocal one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
You know, it's a whole. He done exposed to us. There's a whole slew of these people that we need to focus on.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of them we would have never seen. Thank you, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, you expose the enemy.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing about
the
combat.
enemy among us.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's one thing about doing combat. You need to know where the enemy at. Now we know where they at.
Yeah.
We're gonna deal with that. Veterans got to be focused on their votes. And see, the one thing about us, Tony, as veterans, we the smallest minority in the country, but we are the most powerful and potent minority.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I got people in my family that'll vote just because I asked them to.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I asked them to.
Yep.
You know, but I started explaining stuff, and all of a sudden, oh that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, we need to use our
power. Yes.
status
Yes.
to protect what we serve for. Otherwise, we got folks that take it away from us and look at us and say, "What you got a problem?"
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
Yeah. I mean, they got a bullish attitude about it because they think they're bullies.
Yeah.
You know, but then I ain't never seen a bully when you're slapping me. You really fight. You take all this hard. And that's what we need to do with these bullies that's taking over our country. They've taken it over and they've made it a dangerous place.
Yeah.
They made it a real dangerous place. For people in church, you got people going to church with guns now.
Yeah.
Going to schools, you know, and then in the hospitals. You know, I mean, they have infected this country with a sense of lawlessness that I didn't see growing up.
Yeah, we did not see that. We saw respect for authority. We, you know, not just guns, but we saw respect for authority, and it was at all levels. It wasn't just the government. We saw it within our family.
Within our family,
you know, we knew within our family who we could go to if we was having trouble with a family member, and all of a sudden that family member would step up and do what he could to resolve that problem.
Resolve it, straighten it out.
Yes.
You know, handle it.
Yes.
And have peace with it.
Yeah. And had the respect of the rest of the family so that even though he may have found conflict or pushback, the rest of the family stood up behind him and said, no, this is right. This is what the family does.
This is what the family
You know, and that was so important.
It was critical to where we were because we were coming out of slavery and then and being segregated from the government, and you know we didn't have any rights.
Yeah, no.
So this is why I'm saying, like, black people should be really wide up, man, because no other demographic has overcome as much as we've overcome in the short time that we have been overcoming.
The challenge is they know this. That's why you hear them pushing so hard against critical race theory. They do not want that information given to the general public. Once that information is given, people will start saying, you mean they would treat it like, yes, but they don't want this younger generation to know about that, because they know those people are more independent thinkers. And so they will not buy into this.
You saw it in this last election.
Yes.
Because the Republicans and the Democrats voted the way they vote all the time. But it was a wave of young people saying, okay, y'all going too far.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're going too far because we ain't with all that junk you with.
Exactly.
And we got to keep feeding these young people the truth.
Yes. Feed them the truth and show them that they have the power that they have.
They have, and back them up.
Yes.
Back them up. Be right there with them.
Yeah.
Because see, one of the things that they have done to our communities, they have put a gap between the ages, the generations.
Yep.
Sometimes I had to straighten out something. How you doing, old man? I said, I'm an old man that you got to get there.
Yep.
I said, you got to understand that. You keep living, you'll be an old man.
Yep.
And then you will understand why I want you to respect me.
Yep. Yep.
You understand why I want you to respect me.
Yeah.
So you watch your mouth.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Get you straight. Because see, what we got in our community today, because the lack, this 2% owning all of the wealth. We got a lack in our community, and we have been manipulated by people that got something. Calling them, we idolize these people that got, the money. And if you look at a lot of them, they got the money, but they don't care nothing about the people. Not from which they come.
No.
They come out of the community and they move to another state.
Exactly. Right.
They didn't stay in that community and build it up with what they had, right? They left. We got to look at what we dealing with every day on the levels that we are dealing with it on, because see, they think we brain dead.
Yep.
They think we brain dead. They keep telling you that the Second Amendment gives you a right for an automatic weapon. Listen, man. There used to be a time if you hollered fire in a theater and you caused people to stampede, you would be locked up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now you got people that will incite violence on other people, other citizens, and you gonna argue with about that's a political discourse. It's okay that happened.
They have the right to. No,
that ain't no right that you got over the people. That's not. We don't need that kind of right in our community, because it is causing the problems that we have. The issue has always been divide and conquer.
Exactly.
And that's how they got us in our community. We're divided, and they have conquered us.
Yes. Yep.
And you can see it in the faces of people in stores now. They're looking at the prices. Oh man, how am I going to make it? How am I going to make it with this stuff going up like this, and my pockets ain't going
exactly.
up. I can't even find a way to make my pocket go up, because the guys that own the business and already told me they ain't gonna pay me no more minimum wage. And the minimum wage in the state of Georgia is one of the lowest in the country.
Yeah.
But we boogalooing. There was a time that we was feeling while Rome burned.
Yep.
That's what we are doing in our community. And veterans, I'm holding veterans up, because we are the key to change.
Yeah.
We have understanding of what you're supposed to do when you are in government better than anybody I know.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna follow it over. Because first thing they did to you in the military, you mess up, they hit the pocket. They go straight at the little money. They wasn't giving you much, but you mess up, they gonna go in there.
Yep.
And that gave us I'm not saying that was the only thing that made us perform our duties in the military, keep our oath. I think it was the character of people too. I think that the military did a great job with drafting and with accepting people that volunteer in the military.
Yeah, yes,
It
yeah.
helped them a lot. And you often said they do a great job in training us when we get in the military. But when we're being released back in the community, it's like we're finished with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, even companies don't do that. They say, you know, when you work 30 years for this company, you know, yes, your job is over, but you're going to get this much, even though you aren't working, this company will continue to pay you a certain amount for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
You know, and so that showed concern for their employees. But unfortunately, the federal government did not show that respect for the military people.
And now what they thought and what a lot of people do, because they give you a little stifling if you can show a disability or injury from that service. But the seed that they plant in you during the military will blind you to the fact that that's your benefit. Some people look at it as a handout, and nobody wants a handout.
Right, yeah.
So
we were too proud for handouts.
Too proud for a handout.
Yeah.
So they will let the benefit that they should be bringing home to their family go.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want no handout.
Yeah.
It's not a handout.
No.
It is a debt owed you
yes.
for your service. It's like there's a contract.
Yeah.
But now we got people in our government that's ready to take that contract apart.
Yeah.
You know, they're willing, and they do it every day with the way they deny claims. I see it sometime, man. I said, man, I stay up all night trying to figure it out. You know, been trying to figure it out because I know what they're doing. I just got to see how they're doing it and refute them with their law.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, Tony, it's every day they're denying veterans benefits illegally. Inconsistent with the law that we serve for.
Yeah.
And this is why we got to learn to focus that vote.
Yes.
We got to learn to focus that vote. Now, and just to give you some crazy stuff, look at how they got to fight the vote after the holiday. Now, I couldn't understand, why would you want to even come up with a law that say you couldn't?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're giving thanks, so you know part of giving that thanks is to the democracy.
Yes.
But you're gonna have politicians who say, well, you can't vote after that holiday. What does that? And what kind of sense does that make?
Yeah.
And then another thing, I deal with people that are diabetics. Now, diabetics vote. What happens if a diabetic is in the line, and because he want to stay in line, they get sick. Somebody need to bring them. Sometimes they could eat something.
Right.
It'll pop them back up. You mean to tell me it's illegal in my home state for somebody to save a life?
To give assistance to somebody who's having a medical challenge. You know.
We need to vote
Yes.
with sense.
Yeah.
We need to vote with sense.
Yeah.
See, we got to connect the dots and stop acting like we don't know what's really going on.
Yeah.
See, sometimes when we don't want to take responsibility for it, because you know, usually when a veteran take responsibility for something, he's gonna get up and do something about it. We don't want to take responsibility because we don't want to get up and offend nobody. But be offended. Be offended you.
They have no problem offending you. So, you know, return the favor.
Return the favor. You don't have to be toxic to do it.
No.
You know, you just, okay, I understand your position, but I ain't with that. You know, you don't have to be violent and all radical to say no.
Yeah.
Dr. King, I couldn't do it. But I always go to Dr. King because he showed me so much with his movement. If you want to stop him, stop cooperating with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, that was the one thing that Dr. King pointed out for us that we should never forget.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in the store and buy something from somebody that got that knee on your neck.
Right. Yep.
You know, you don't have to cooperate with that. You don't have to go spend your money or your time supporting that kind of business in your community. And we need to understand that if we stop cooperating with these billionaires, they'll change their way of doing business with us in 30 days.
Yep.
If we just had a fast. Sometimes you need to fast and pray.
Mm-hmm.
Just fast and pray for 30 days. Don't go nowhere. Don't do nothing but fast and pray. That will break the back of these people that's trying to hurt our democracy.
You know, speaking of that, the Montgomery bus boycott, was a perfect example of that.
Listen,
And the thing about it, the wonderful thing about it is that when the boycott happened, the community stepped up and filled in for those spots. You know, and so we as a people, yes, we can boycott, but we're going to continue to live even with that boycott. So we know how to make how to survive in situations like that when we are going against big business. You know, the deep pockets.
And that's what they want to intimidate us out of doing.
Yeah.
They want to, you know, I'm going to put it, well, man, I know how to exist in a firefight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know how to shoot back.
Yeah.
So I got that issue with me, so I couldn't do a march. I don't you sick your dog on me, I'm going to do something to your dog. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. It's a thing. We want you tuned in every Saturday. Now you can call in some Saturdays and join the conversation at 470-251-4707. You can just call in, talk with Tony, get him to talk to you about the memorial. Now you can go to sonsofAtlanta.org today, right now, and make a donation if you don't want to buy a brick. Now you make a donation, not gonna put your name in the park, but you buy a brick, your name will automatically go in the park. Now I'm saying this, we got more than 11,000 veterans in Metro Atlanta. I need 11,000 veterans to come up with $300 a piece. We'll be finished with funding the memorial. You know, whether you want to buy a brick, we just need your donation. You donating to a cause that's for you.
Yeah.
You know, for you, because this gonna help bring the communities together. Once we get through building this memorial in Piedmont Park, we're going in the libraries and community centers throughout this county and teach people about the sacrifice. You know, I can remember talking with some of the guys in Vietnam. The only thing they looked forward to during that tour was coming home to the world, to the big PX. You know, and to enjoy all of these things that we wasn't able to have in combat situation. Some of them guys didn't come home, but they had dreams, and we should tell their stories. Yeah. You know, we should tell their story. They had dreams of coming back, doing things for their families, doing things for their community, but they didn't do it. We're going to do it in their name. Yeah. We're going to go in these communities. We're going to build camaraderies. We're going to build unities that going to undermine the crime problem. They're going to take gun violence out of the community. They're going to make schools safe and grocery stores safe, because we're going to elect politicians that will stop bullying people and making them feel like everybody need a gun. Everybody don't need a gun. You know, it's just not really safe for everybody to have a gun. I don't need no gun. And some of us just don't need no gun. No one of them. So, you know, if people like me don't give them no gun. You know, but some of them like me can't say they don't need no gun. They want a gun because they're like me. They're shell shot. They want a gun because that's what they did in the military. Yes. We need to thank veterans. We need to do something. And I'm gonna ask this new year coming up in January. I'm hoping we're gonna get our coalition together and come out on these politicians, starting with the state of Georgia, starting with the under the dome. Do away with these automatic weapons in our community. Yeah. You know, do away with them now. We're not asking you. We're instructing you. Yes. And you, if you think that instruction is foul, wait till we go up for re-election. Yeah. We're gonna knock on doors. We're gonna sleep on the streets. We're gonna do whatever we gotta do to get this message across that Atlanta is too busy to care about homeless people right downtown. Yep. That don't make sense when they got more building, vacant space with the lights on, the water running, than they got homeless people. Why are we doing this to our people? We're creating lack that creates crime. The seed for crime is lack.
Yes. Yeah.
You do away with the lack, you're gonna do away with the motivation for crime. Special crimes like burglaries and property crimes. And we got these 2%ers doing this.
Yeah.
They taking all the money, shooting up in space, and doing all kind of stuff
Yeah.
that don't make sense for the masses. It's something they want to do the way they want to do it. But then we're in this predicament right now too, like Patrick Henry. Taxation without representation is no longer acceptable.
Yeah.
But we're not finna do away with the democracy. We're finna do away with the people that's trying to do away
That's
with
it.
We finna reverse this thing.
Yeah.
Because this is what we serve for. This is all about what we serve for. I still believe that we can have a community that's safe and people can all people can get along in the community and be comfortable in that community because we got the resources in the country to do it.
Yeah.
We got to stop letting the greedy take over the needy.
Yeah.
This is Tony, take us out, bro. Take us out, bro. I'm not finished.
Yes. Well, that is a major part of it. Is the idea of us giving away our power. We as a military, we have a lot of power. Our voting records is a true indication of that. And by combining our voting power with the will of us, we can get a lot of stuff done. But we got to bring it to the community and let them know this is what we want to do.
And this is what we've been able to do with this platform, the Sons of Atlanta.
Yeah.
We had so many good times, man, going around to different groups and seeing people in parks and stuff. And people like this idea because what it does, it pays homage to something that's bigger than what we see.
Exactly.
It pays homage to something that's bigger than what's. Take it out, Tony.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're coming to the end of our hour, and so once again, but then you've heard us talk about this during the entire show about contributing to the memorial. We're excited about this. We know that you all are going to come and participate. You're going to put it in our budget. One of the things, I'm going to make this really, really quick. We're getting ready to move into a new year. So one of the things we want to do is plan on what we're going to do in the new year. And one of the things we're planning on doing in the new year is building this memorial in Piedmont Park.
Yes.
So we want the veteran community and the rest of the community to come out and support us for this memorial.
Next week, don't tune in. Veterans Talk. Don't forget, we're here doing the same thing every week. Be blessed. Thank you, Tony.
Good night.